around a little bit so we can see the light?
Could you tell us a little bit about just what made you do this?
Well, it was a long story.
Yes.
And if you heard my speech yesterday,
Yes.
30 minutes,
Paul, can you actually hold it up in a way that might be, and not maybe all the way up, but don't obscure your face. But there it goes.
So do you had the money obviously to spend $200,000 to make
He
this
had it.
ad?
I had it.
You had it.
I don't have
So,
it.
so
Okay.
he's not King Midas, and that makes this all the more impressive. He
And what happened again as a result of this? Instant fame?
Well, a lot of things happened. I met Donald Denzel came to visit me, this retired CIA official. Now, this is John Kennedy on Sunday evening, September 4, 1960, and there's me right there, and my sister Donna. When he first came off his plane, he got into a car with his aides. Then he got out of the car and climbed up in this baggage truck with Lieutenant Governor John Swainson. I was then immediately below him. I reached up to shake his hand. And then we moved back to let these other people move up. And then Governor Williams got in this little girl on, and this Detroit News took this photograph. And it shows me at 18 with the back of my head and shoulders, and my sister Donna, who's 16.
Wow.
And I worked in Kennedy's Michigan campaign out of the 14th Congressional District headquarters. And my friend Dennis Wren and I, we formed Grosse Pointe Young Democrats in support of Kennedy's election. Now, here's something else. Cost me $25,000. I had this press conference in the grand ballroom of the Willard Hotel. I brought in all these people like Jim Fetzer, Doug Horn, Joan Mellon, Dr. David Maddock, Jefferson Morley of the Post, and I somehow attracted this guy here, who has CIA ties.
And what's his name?
Thomas Lipscomb.
Thomas Lipscomb.
like flies.
Huh?
Like flies.
Yes.
We get your picture with all your buttons here.
Okay.
So you must have been pretty shocked and amazed and proud of yourself
What?
doing this.
Well, it was a long struggle.
Now, I can share with you the Washington Times.
But Doug gave me this. This is the.
Oh, you spoke about this.
Yeah, this is the actual document.
Wow.
He gave me this.
Is this available publicly now?
I don't know. It's published. It's in the paragraph about Lyndon Johnson is in here. The AARB got this from the Russians.
Huh.
Oh, there it is.
Is it in Russian or English translated?
No, it's in English.
Uh-huh.
It said, our sources now indicate, purporting to indicate that President Johnson was responsible for the assassination of the late President John F. Kennedy. That's in my ad. Now, something else. This is the lawsuit I had against the Washington Post. Something else that cost me a lot of money.
How much was that?
Well, it cost me $5,000 for the attorney, but I successfully won the case against the Post.
And what was the grounds?
Pardon?
What was the grounds, Paul?
Well, because they had all these materials I had, including the entire series of the men who killed Kennedy, including the 3 censored videos.
They wouldn't give them back to you?
They wouldn't give them back to me.
And who was the reporter who did this?
It was Michael Powell in New York. the bureau chief in New York. Now, this is the 26-page letter that I sent first to Byron Klein, public editor of the New York Times, and then I redrafted when I found out he'd only been there for 3 months, and I spent about almost 2 months working on this letter. I had 2 young writers, and my executive assistant did research at the library, and my friend Jim Hurley and I worked on the first draft as we were crossing the first time on Queen Mary 2 from Southampton to New York. And this cost a tremendous amount of okay, and then the other thing, I had a...
So what have we done?
Okay, I also
Your
went
turn
to
next.
I went to New York and had a picket of the New York Times.
It's like trout fishing.
This is the press release. And this
Throw a
guy,
line in the water
and I sent this all out.
comes
Everybody,
out.
the press, New York Times knew I was coming. And I got there, and the high-level security official came down in his suit and asked me if I could move away. I still got it. I had an open letter to Arthur Schoenberg
And I know a lot of them.
documenting how the
There
Times
wasn't a
had
reporter in there.
conspired with the government to cover it up,
Usually.
Kennedy's murder.
So
All
we
the
gotta be
documentation.
immediate,
And I got 35 Times employees to accept the letter and take it into the building.
That's beautiful.
I've got
Wow.
people on my Facebook list.
I'm sure they were
I don't
ordering
talk
people to
about
shred them.
politics or stuff with, but they all like to say, you know.
Yeah, so it was a
Well, the
long...
good thing is the kids basically believe this, and so does the public.
Hey, you know who's
Yeah.
receptive to controversial ads nowadays is the Washington Times. Actually, is very affordable.
Oh yeah,
very
they wanted,
receptive.
after I ran this ad, they called me up and wondered if I would advertise in the Times.
You know,
The
we just
Washington
gotta
Times?
be
Oh, yeah.
consistent, 'cause when we-
Wow.
Yeah,
I think about
yeah,
this a
they're,
lot, but
they're these
even
days
the
pretty
print-
reasonable, but not that many people seem to read the hardcover
Yeah, that's
papers.
me, right there.
Oh,
They
yeah,
complain that they can't get any news coverage, you know, accurate.
very good.
So,
I'm a Peter
That's what
too.
they're counting on, is that
Yeah,
people don't
Peter.
read. And
This
don't
woman
read the
I've just
newspapers.
met here, like Synchronicity 101.
But it's our Native
And I spent
American
$25,000
Found
on
a-
this
see-
It's only our
press.
Part
warrior
of my-
energies that tie us.
Part of my lineage is North American
People
Indian,
are
okay?
banking on that people don't read anymore.
Oh, I know.
What
but
tribe?
this was,
It's incredible.
Mi'kmaq, I'm
It's
Canadian.
incredible. I just wanted to see what issue this is.
yeah.
We are warrior brothers and sisters.
Yeah, well, this warrior thing, whatever. All
Hey,
I know,
I have a-
all I,
Hey,
by the
hey,
way,
hey, hey.
see
I'm
the
sure
snows
some of-
here?
I'm sure some
I-
of my
Yes, we do.
ancestors.
I played hockey since I
Gave
was,
you a
I
deer
am
one day.
Canadian, I played hockey
Johnny's-
since I was 6 years old. I didn't
I
get
haven't
this
read it, I'm
nose
familiar with
doing
it.
Okay.
astrology
What is this?
research, okay?
Conspiracy to murder
Oh,
John F. Kennedy,
jeez.
very intentional
What are
murder.
you?
Been a lot of fights.
Flemish mostly.
yeah, that's just so
But,
many flexes, man.
but before this nose was rearranged, it was classic Indian, and everybody thought I was
What year?
Jewish
Jewish.
or Italian.
I thought you were
It
Italian.
turned out to be
I thought it was
I'm
Italian.
part
Yes!
North American Indian.
But I got it right the first time.
They had a whole shitload of Bibles.
Okay, you're going a little bit too far. I know. It's okay. We're amongst friends.
Listen,
I know.
Who did I?
And
Donald told me.
I didn't give you a
Peter was
shout.
Okay, that's enough.
Anyways, it came out.
Peter.
1001, 1002,
Yeah.
1003.
Come on, give me a break. You look like her.
Well connected.
Who?
What did I share with you
Oh,
before?
Selma.
Bowser, all the members of the city council.
The woman I would
I'm the founder of the
give my molar teeth
founder of the Gertrude Stein Democratic
and whatever
So you're
to
really
spend a
Founder
couple
of
of
the
hours with her.
All right,
Wow.
Peter.
Come on, I'm a guy. You're my
I
type.
was
That's it.
the last vice chairman
love
of the
it.
DC Lottery and Charitable Gains Control Board. I was on an officer of the DC party in the 80s. Anyways, I used my
What's really
connections
important is
to get an
forget all
appointment
that
with the
stuff. That's
high-level
just me being
homicide police official.
Get off my
Donald
case.
Went was with me.
Years ago.
However, at
What
that
is
time,
cool?
we did not know that there was
How
anybody
and
that
why
was still
we're meeting
living.
and that you were here.
Anyways,
and
Peter
everything we discussed
um,
before.
sent me his third edition
checked out my
And there's a guy
grandmother was letting me sew.
who lives
She was like,
in
"Oh my God,
California
you know my
now,
mother
who's
ruined her
involved
nail
in the
with gold
CIA
chain on
operation
wood."
that day.
And my
To
grandmother
murder.
was so patient.
No, no,
Oh,
this
they're
is
in
in
California.
No, this is in
So,
Washington
No, you
D.C.
did great.
Okay.
And
She was
by the
murdered
way,
as she
Oh,
to
very
much.
Georgetown,
Yeah, yeah.
No, you told
along
me.
the C&L
Peter,
Canal.
I was gonna
Okay,
say,
well, anyways, they set up this
you can't control
poor
the crowd.
African American guy who just happened to be in the vicinity. The guy
But
they
so,
used
so
set
I
up.
like going with my grandmother. It's like,
You know.
Yeah.
So-
and your
No, no.
Anyway,
nothing
what
like-
did you
this guy
think of
came
that?
forward and testified against this. Yes, he was part of the CIA. He's still living in California, which Peter found out. So I'm going to use my connections to go back to the district government and demand.
To pursue him, to subpoena him.
That's right. Yeah. There's no statute of limitations on murder.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know, I've met a DC homicide detective, William Zanten, Xanten.
See.
So you want me to
I
watch
met him 3 or 4 years ago. I just happened to cross paths. He might be one worth talking to.
Yeah.
let me give you.
Yeah, because I'm
I have
very well tied in.
And I'm like,
I mean, everybody knows me.
and I got all the native
Yeah.
Aren't you very well tied in too?
In DC, in the political structure.
I get the feeling that you are very responsible and you can make things happen.
Yeah. I mean, the Washington Post did a big story about me
Well,
on May
send me an email.
13th
Or
with 4 color photos and all about my life.
Worst, the wool.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
makes it
and
You can see it on the
what type of
internet.
beads do you have? Because I'm
Do you have a business card?
Yeah, I do.